Hello my friends, welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We are painting this beautiful mushroom forest painting inspired by artbylisma. She has done a few of these mushroom paintings and I'm very inspired. They are gorgeous, they're beautiful. I'm just trying to determine whether I want to do it in landscape or in portrait position. I think I'll do portrait. I'm gonna start off, I just have a pencil here, and I'm starting off by sketching just a silhouette of the foreground, I guess you can say. This is where our little mushrooms are going to sit. It's gonna look something like that, and then all this is gonna be like this dark forest, this gorgeous dark forest. So we can sketch your mushroom or two. So the mushroom's gonna go like this. Excuse me. You guys are lucky that I am attempting this today, that I'm blessing you with this. No, that sounds very egocentric. What I mean to say is yesterday I was gonna paint all the tutorials that I needed to this week, and time kind of got away from me. I had to remove everything from my bathroom, like all my filming stuff, because I had to give my daughter a bath, and it was just, I never got back to it. And I would not have probably taken the time to paint this complicated or intricate of a tutorial if I was continuing last night, because I would have only had like an hour and a half before bed, and I wouldn't have wanted to do a tutorial that is probably going to take me an hour. That being said, my child is teething and nobody slept last night. I think we got like 2 hours of sleep. So I'm so tired and not totally cognizant of what is happening around me. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I wish I could just glimpse back to the late pregnancy days where I really had no idea what was coming for me and life was really easy. Those were good days. These are good days too. I'm sure I'll look back on these sleep-deprived days and think I would do anything to go back and experience that again. But it's obviously hard to see that in the moment when you're so tired. If you hear like ruckus in the background, that is my daughter bouncing in one of those saucer things, and she's like getting air now. She's mastered that jumping thing. Okay, so this is, I'm okay with how my mushroom sketch looks at the moment. I'm gonna actually leave it dark. Usually I would erase the sketch so that it was not as dark, so it didn't show through the watercolor, but because we're painting the background in this dark forest, in a dark forest, I don't want the pencil to be invisible to us. So get to the point, Julia. Let's start with that background forest. That is what we're going to start with today. Or will we start with that? I don't know. Yes, we will. Okay. So I'm going to take just like a mossy green That's not the official name, that's just what I'm calling it. I don't know what the name of this paint is, because I threw out the name card, because I think it is not important in this channel. I don't know if I will ever mention the color names. So we are just going to fill, I was originally just going to paint over these mushrooms, which is why I left the dark pencil marks. However, last minute I decided that I'm not going to do that, that I will paint around them instead. So yeah, we're just filling in, obviously leaving the foreground, and we're filling in all the space. You want to work fairly quickly here. I know I'm kind of lily-dallying or dilly-dallying, because I'm thinking about several things at once at the moment that have nothing to do with painting, and my brain is not functioning at optimum speed at the moment. But I am still attempting this because, my goodness, this painting, the original, is beautiful. We'll see if mine turns out looking anything remotely close to what I was inspired by. Okay, so once you have that, you might want to kind of like go back with just a little bit of water and re-wet kind of the earlier areas to make sure everything is evenly moist. Because we're doing the wet and wet technique now. Now I'm gonna grab black and like a darker green, and we're gonna paint trees. Surprise, surprise. So I'm gonna have some deciduous trees growing in the background, like so. And then probably like 3 of them here. Another one here. And then maybe like an evergreen over here. So because this is wet on wet, like it's not going to look as realistic or defined, I should say, as I would typically want it to be. And honestly, this is way more green than I wanted. I wanted it to be more of a black. So I just picked up some black and I'm adding that in there. Same with these trees. They're very green. I didn't want them to be green. Maybe we can fix that later. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. Typically when I just go with the flow, things turn out a lot better than when I'm obsessed with trying to make it a particular way. So that so far is not looking too bad. I did want that background to be way darker though, and it is not that way. So what am I gonna do about that? Cry. Maybe I'll just make some of these deciduous trees a wee bit darker. Like so. And I wanted this to be way darker as well. to be more positive. I once got a comment on a video. They're like, do you even like painting? And the answer to that is honestly, a lot of the times, no, I don't. Sometimes I don't want to, but I have made a commitment, and obviously when I'm done a painting, I'm happy I did it, but like sometimes sitting down to actually do it is quite the mental effort, especially when I have very little sleep. I am complaining so much in this tutorial. I really did not mean for it to be this way. So I'm gonna try and change my tone here because I have high hopes for this painting. Like, not much is down here, but I really like it so far. So I am going to, I think, let this dry, and then we'll add darker layers on top. That's the plan. So that should be dry. I'm hoping it is. I've taken black mixed with green, basically the same color I was using before, but now it'll appear darker because we're doing wet on dry instead of wet on wet. So I'm gonna go ahead and just paint on basically the same thing I painted before. A bunch of deciduous trees. Actually, I don't even know if these are deciduous because they've got branches going the wrong way. Okay. Does anyone else feel like this winter? That won't make sense because you guys are going to be seeing this in August. But when I'm filming this, it is April, which kudos to me that I have pre-filmed so much in advance. But this winter feels like it went by so quickly. And yeah, now that I think of it, like a lot of the times when I'm pre-filming, I think, okay, what will life look like at the time that this tutorial is released? And man, it's gonna be almost the end of summer when this tutorial is released. And we barely entered spring when I'm filming it. So that's kind of a crazy thought to me. That's a crazy thought. I like to pre-film because why do I like to pre-film? Because you never know what life is going to throw at you. And I knew obviously that my child was going to be born, so I pre-filmed for that back in when she was born or before she was born. So I had like 3 solid months where I didn't have to paint. I could just focus on baby. And then I kind of just continued it. Actually, I have made it like this will be the 3rd year I'm doing this where I'm pre-film, like I'm trying to get the majority of the summer painted well in advance so that I hardly have to paint in the summer at all. Because summers here are very busy, and now with a baby, I can't even imagine how I'm going to be able to get everything done. So I take advantage of long, boring winters. I pre-paint a lot, and then I have summers free to just soak up the sun, garden, grow a lot of food. You guys get it, I hope. A lot of my viewers are older, which is great. I'm glad people are enjoying watercolor at all ages. So you guys probably understand a lot more gardening hobbies. Am I being stereotypical right now? Am I generalizing? all I'm saying is retirees have a lot more time for gardening and hobbies like that. So, but I have made this my way of life. Like, growing food is so important to me. It is my priority. I try to grow as much of my own food as I can. So, like, we're still eating produce that I grew last summer. I have one butternut squash left. I have several cans of carrots left, like all from my own garden, several frozen bags of kale. I don't do it to save money, because I will tell you, at least I have not figured out how to do it in a cost-effective way, but I've spent way more than I would have on cultivating my garden than if I were to just buy food in the grocery store. 100%. But I don't do it to save money. I do it because I don't trust whatever the heck they're putting on my food that I put in my body. And there's only so much that buying organic will do for you. So growing my own food is very important to me, because I have control over what goes into my body. That is the main reason. Try not to make your deciduous trees as straight as I made mine. Kind of ruins the look, in my opinion. I think I'm gonna leave the background like that, because I just spent almost 20 minutes on the background and we still have all of this to do. Actually, one more thing that I want to do is just add a couple of branches coming off of my trees, spanning in different directions. What was I gonna say? I have a lot to say. But not much is going on in my brain at the moment. Okay, I think I'm okay with the amount of branches in there. So, bum bada bum bum. What are we gonna do now? First, I'm gonna fix whatever the heck happened here. It's kind of like a smudgy blur. Okay, so now, my friends, as I keep going, when I said I would stop. Know when to stop, Julia. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy with that. What we're gonna do now is probably paint the mushrooms, because I want the bottoms of these mushrooms to really nicely fade into the foreground, and think it'll just be easier if I paint the mushrooms first. So I'm gonna blow dry this, and then we'll do the mushrooms. Okay, so I believe that is dry. I'm gonna pull up like a reddish, mix a little bit of plum color in there. need more plum in this. I wish I had, no, you know what? I don't know if I'm ever gonna upgrade my filming equipment because I am not a technology person and I just don't know how to operate cameras. I just need a high resolution phone and I'm good to go. But it would be nice if you could see my palette. But I digress. Let's start with the top of our mushroom because it's easier to work top to bottom. And I'm gonna try to fix all of the imperfections. Like the border is quite jaggedy because it's kind of hard to make it smooth when you're painting so many trees. So I'm gonna try and smooth it out. This side is gonna be a lot more pink, I think. I love this paintbrush. I feel really bad for bashing it when I first started using it. I was really not impressed with it because I just wasn't used to how like loose the bristles are. But I have really, really grown to like it. So I just watered down my brush a tad here because I want the right side of this mushroom to be a lot lighter. So I'm just blending that in. And then I'm gonna take, hold on, first I'm gonna finish this. And then I'm gonna take some black. That might be a little bit too much, but yeah, that's way too much. Is this too tight? Yes, it's too tight, Michael. If you get that reference, oh my gosh, I probably sound like a crazy person right now. I'm getting way too comfortable with just saying random things while I film. So the light looks like it's coming from here, right? So I want to produce a shadow on this side of my mushroom. Let me go a little closer for you guys. At the risk of painting off camera, as I often do. This I messed up quite a bit, but what are you gonna do? Can't always cry. Actually, we can do something about that. We can totally put, we can put paint there, acrylic paint. I'm gonna twist this around. I just want to make the bottom of this a tad bit darker, like that. Why don't I just do the second one while I'm at it? Oh my gosh, that scared me. I don't know if you can hear that, but my husband, I can't, my husband just must have turned on a tap in the kitchen because it really made quite the noise in the bathroom. And it scared me. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing that I did on that other mushroom, add some black on this side of the mushroom. And I'll let this dry before I do anything else to it. But, yeah. Okay, let's paint the leg of this mushroom. I have so many browns to choose from on this palette that I don't even know which one to go for. So I'm gonna mix gray with this random brown that I have to create kind of like a stone color. I could have just used, why didn't I just use this? It's exactly the same color. Okay. So this mushroom has a cute little skirt, this frilly thing going on, which I'm a big fan of. It's uber cute. And this one has it as well. So I'm outlining the skirt first. And it's going to be, we might have to use some white acrylic paint to assist us if we want a really, really nice looking mushroom. But I've taken some white watercolor and I'm just blending the border into the white. And I like how that looks. Okay, what's next? I have to make this part dark, this top part, because it's under the cap, the mushroom cap, so it needs to be a tad bit darker there, because the cap is casting a shadow on it, obviously. So I have to do that, and then I have to do it here as well, but probably even more so on this smaller mushroom. So you can use black or brown to achieve this. I just took whatever was already on my palette, which was a strange brown color. I think I'm gonna add black though, for more, even more contrast. That might be too much. Yeah, that was too much. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Okay. What else? I have to define this cap a little bit better. I don't know what I'm doing, in case you think I do. I don't know what these are even supposed to be. I'm just following what I see in this picture. So if you know what that is, enlighten me, because you guys are really good at telling me the names of things and whatnot. So I really actually don't like, oh my gosh, I spilled water everywhere. What a disaster. We are 30 minutes into this, and I don't think we're even close to being done. But you know, I need a long tutorial every once in a while. I need to keep my game up and not be so lazy. I should have waited for this to dry before continuing on with this. I'm gonna take that white again. I want to leave a good chunk of this white, which I've already failed. But what I'll do is take a bit of toilet paper and lift it off like that. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly put a blow dryer to this. Okay, so I'm gonna take black or brown, like a dark brown. Yeah, that's dark brown is probably better. And I want to define this under part a lot better than it currently is defined. It's not defined at all. I will probably go in later with white acrylic paint just to define this a lot more, because I kind of made areas dark that I shouldn't have. And they're dry, so it's kind of too late to do anything about them. And then this I should probably blend out a little bit better. It's not as harsh. Okay. So okay. Sorry guys, I know I'm not really talking very much, I'm just kind of muttering things. So I have white acrylic paint now on my paintbrush, and I'm just going to try and lighten this skirt of my mushroom. And I'm also adding the white acrylic paint on this side here and on this mushroom. Is this even on the camera? Yes, it is. Okay. Can you hear that? My husband is Skyping his parents, and if you can hear that, that's gonna sound really funny. Okay, I'm really tempted to pause these mushrooms because I'm feeling very uninspired by painting the mushrooms. I want to paint the foreground. I like painting foreground stuff, but let's just persist through with these mushrooms. I'm gonna take the color that I used up here, but it's gonna be watered down a bit, and I just wanna, wait, how should I start? I think I'll start, somebody told me what these lines are called previously in a different mushroom tutorial, and I did not store that information in my head. So if you have that information and you care to share, please do. Please let me know if you can hear my father-in-law trying to talk to my daughter, because it's very, very endearing. Still going. Anyway, so yes, we painted those things. I should have painted them darker. I don't know why I used the same color. So now I have to go back and redo it with a black. Something like that, although now it just, that did not look good. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and then kind of spread it out a tiny bit. I do want to make the red part brighter, and I can't believe I'm gonna do this, but I don't like to half things, like put in half the effort. So I want this to be a beautiful, vibrant mushroom. And right now it looks dull, so I'm just going over it once more. And then this will be lighter on this side. And then I want to add that black on this side. Okay. And these things should be hopefully dry enough. Like, they don't have to be completely dry, but I'm gonna just blend them out a tad. Like this. I don't know if that was on the camera. Whoopsie whoopsie. And what I'm gonna do is take white acrylic paint. Actually, I'm gonna wait until that dries. Sorry guys, getting ahead of myself here. We're gonna wait until that dries. I just realized I didn't make my mushroom leg long enough. It should have extended to down here. So there we go. And I'm gonna just zoom back out, guys, because I run the risk of completely painting off the screen. We're gonna finally, after 40 minutes, move on to this foreground. So I'm gonna take lime green for this. I'm getting way more energy now that we're like close to the finish line. And I'm gonna start with lime green because it's easier to paint darker colors on top of lighter colors. But I'm gonna cover a majority of this in this lime green color. Like so. And I'm gonna take like a much darker green now and just add Add black to that to darken it, and I'm gonna just add that at the base of this mushroom here, the base of this mushroom, on this side of this mushroom, and whatever this is. Do want to darken this area. Add some grass, maybe coming out here. And then maybe some grass coming out here. Oh, and I'll add brown. I should have thought of that before. A nice brown to the, that's orange, kind of. Take actual brown, there we go. And add that to kind of the base there. 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 Take some, I don't have a plan here, guys. I'm sorry if this is all over the place. Just try your best to follow along, or just plop your own colors on, honestly. Like, don't worry about following what I'm doing to a T. A little bit there. I'm gonna take white watercolor, just kind of blend this a little bit, blend that out. The white kind of makes it look a little bit camo in some areas. We're just adding, we're painting on a base here, so we have a base color to work from. Now this is supposed to be, I think, a tree. I really butchered that. So let's add some brown back into it. I don't know what happened to this tree. It has lost its way. There's a lot going on here. And a lot of it is not really going my way. Okay. Where do I go from here, people? I think I'm going to take a little bit of white watercolor and try to... No, I'm not going to do that. That just kind of ruins it a little bit. I'm kind of just adding colors where I think they might work. My battery is dying. I think we really need to speed things along here. Now what I'm doing, I think, is just intensifying some of these colors. So adding more blobs of color in areas. And I think I'm gonna have to add some grassy strands over top once it dries, and like specks of color. So I'm gonna take this neon pink that I have and put that over top. Sprinkle that on. That didn't do very much, so let me grab some more. Take some orange while I'm at it. I love this neon orange. That is a pretty cool color. I'm gonna have maybe some of these little neon flower things growing over here. And I'll have neon green flower things growing on the other side. This is supposed to be a mystical forest, so this may not make any sense. And I do want like some red in here as well. What this will be, nobody knows. There's too much of whatever that is. I don't like it. So I'm gonna just take like green or something, brown, plop it down. But I do want some of these, whatever these flowers are, or whatever, some maroon things growing over here. And I'm gonna take white acrylic paint since I have it here on hand, and I'm just adding it to the border. I'm trying to blend it in nicely so it's not like it's not sticking out very much. And the thing is, when you put acrylic paint on wet watercolor, it kind of spreads out into this very blurry, mystical pattern, I find. It's been my experience, at least. Oh, actually, while we're at it, I might as well go ahead and take the white acrylic paint and finish up the mushrooms. So I'm gonna add just a white line like this, and on the bottom of my mushroom as well. And I need to add little specks that go on top that make it look like a classic poisonous mushroom. gonna have to do the same on the second mushroom, but I want to take my time with this. So try not to make the dots on the mushrooms too circular and perfect, because it looks more natural if they're not. Like here, they're way too dotty, so I'm gonna try and rough them up a little bit. It looks more natural to me if they're not these perfect round blotches, but you do you. And I want to add a bit of more white to the skirt area. And I'm even gonna add some white grassy strands just to add contrast. I have this metallic watercolor that works really well for these purposes. But I already have the acrylic paint out, so. That being said, I am going to pick up some green. I don't want to overdo it with all the details in the foreground, because right now the mushrooms, they're not like sticking out and bright like I want them to be. And I'm trying to figure out why that is. So I think I might just stop there. Because this has been going for almost an hour. I could keep adding and adding and adding things, but... Oh, sorry, one more thing, because I don't want these guys to be floating here. There we go. I'm going to take this off. And we've got our little mushroom painting. This didn't turn out too bad at all. I like it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry for all the initial rambling and I don't even know what I'm trying to say. thank you for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you liked, what you would have done differently, and don't forget to hit like, subscribe if I haven't already said that 5 times, and I will see you in the next tutorial.